In the age after the Demon War, the continent enjoys a period of prosperity. Humans have made peace with the Valroth and Inox. Quattrels and orchids arrive from across the Misty Sea looking to trade. It is decided that a new city will be built on the eastern shores, a hub of trade and a symbol of many races working in harmony. Each race brings their own specialty to the city, and each race holds a desire for influence over the city by contributing the most to its construction. Each race works to build prestigious structures in Gloomhaven by delivering various resources to them. While they may compete against each other, they also must work together, combining their basic resources into more advanced and lucrative ones, all in an effort to be the most influential founder of Gloomhaven.
Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we've got the second part of our Founders of Gloomhaven video. This will be the first full actual gameplay portion. I'm going to break it up. There's going to be 4 rounds in this video, and so let's check that out and see what happens. I haven't won the game yet. I've played twice. This will be my 3rd playthrough. Let's see if I can pull off a win this time. I pretty much got knocked out somewhere around round 4, round 5, somewhere there. So let's see if I can get a full 4 rounds in for this video. Okay, all right, so here we are. We are looking to found the city of Gloomhaven by ourselves, just the Quattrels. We're going to get in there. We've got some knowledge that we've got available to us. We need to keep in mind that we're going to be building these buildings here as the game progresses. Also, these 2 guys are tier 1 advisors that we need to get look towards getting to. So I think that the first building I'm really going to look at, that building, is the West Gatehouse, because it goes right here. That's where the West Gatehouse goes. Hold on, let's see, the board is a little crooked there. Let me see if I can fix that 1 second. So the West Gatehouse will be good. Now the Happy Alchemist, though, let's see what its ability is. Lose 1 fleeting influence to perform the action of any other prestige building connected to this tile. So that's pretty interesting. What I like about the West Gatehouse, though, is that the things that I need to connect to it. Now, granted, these are all tier 2, so that's something to consider. I might want to wait till I might want to pick this up 2nd round, actually, because that's tier 2, that's tier 2, that's tier 3. So this is actually a pretty expensive one to build. Meanwhile, the Happy Alchemist, look at this. The Happy Alchemist crops is one of the things that needs to go there. Crops is also what I need to be able to access the ringleader, and well, not adding anything. I mean, that's, well, and yeah, and crops combined with knowledge gives me books right here, which would give me access to the engineer. So you know what? Yeah, let's do that actually. We're gonna focus on the Happy Alchemist right now, and I am gonna go ahead, and the very first thing I'm gonna do is perform the trade action. Okay, so what we're gonna import a crops resource tile right here. Okay, and if we put it on one of these tiles, it's going to be super cheap. It's only going to cost me 1 as opposed to 3 here or 2 here. I can't put it directly next to my building. I have to put it somewhere else. And if I build in, let's see, the Happy Alchemist, you can see that it has to have at least 1 space on a beach tile is what that means. So I might as well build in this direction. And because let's look and see what the Happy Alchemist building, we had it out here during the setup. So this is the Happy Alchemist building. It can be touching resources. So we could build it like there, and then it would automatically fulfill that first requirement of the crop. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And now, as far as I can tell, I don't have to have these buildings connected, because granted, it is a building that I'm building, but it's not doesn't have any prerequisites. So I'm pretty sure I can just build that out there separate. Now I did build that on the beach tile, all right? So as you can see here, the beach takes 2. All right, so I'll turn in my 3, get 1 back. I've got 5 coins now. And then I just discard that down. Okay, and so now let's look. So now we have access to crops. So we're going to put one of these out right here. Okay, and so now you can see, follow these 2 lines, and now I've got access to books. Great. Also, that increases to there. Now the question is, none of these buildings require books. The engineer does, and he is fantastic to have, but not really necessary at this particular moment. So do I go ahead and build a book resource tile? I have the money, but it would burn a lot of money. Instead, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use recruit. I'm going to spend 2 coins to get the ringleader here. Okay. His ability is, and remember, all their abilities can be used once in the solo game. Build a personal building, which is, again, the homes, the bridges, or the gates. Then gain 1 temporary influence for each house you own. Okay. And I also gain 1 lasting influence. I always want to call them permanent. They're not permanent though. They're lasting influence. And because of the recruit action, I also get 1 fleeting. I keep saying temporary and permanent. They're fleeting and lasting. Okay, and finally we have to fill this back in. So the new person we've got here, the shepherd, okay, requires livestock and build an advanced resource building, then gain 2 for a tier 2 or 3 for tier 3 fleeting influence. Okay. So what do we do next? Now we know that this is where we're going to put our happy alchemist. You know what we could do though? We could go ahead. Here we go. We want to get one of these workers available at least, right? Because then we can use this, build an advanced resource building at -2 cost. All right, so let's go ahead and do construct, which is build a personal building at -1 cost. So 3 will allow us to build a personal building. All right, and by building it, I also gain 1 fleeting influence. Now, here is a spot that I'm not 100% sure on, and I want, if anyone out there can confirm yes or no for me, please let me know. I'm pretty positive that these I can place directly next to in one of my buildings here, okay? I know that you can't place resource buildings next to each other, but I'm pretty sure I can place my home next to one. So I'm gonna go ahead and give these guys a nice beachfront property here, and that should do the trick there. So next up, what we've got, don't even worry about call to vote. I think here I will go ahead and use the ringleader to build a road to go ahead and connect our knowledge with our crops, because we're going to want that connected. Also, we might as well start building over here towards this, because we're going to need to connect the west gatehouse as well. I don't see any other use for this right now, so I'll go ahead and flip that over, get 1 more road, and put it there. Okay, so that's going to be the end of round 1. Now we've got, well, technically this is the end of round 1, the call to vote, okay? First thing we do is gain income. I'm at 2 income. You can always double check, because however many cubes you've got over here in one of the own sections is what your income is. Got 2 income, so go ahead and grab 2 coins for that. All right, and then we recover these cards. Let's go ahead and flip these back. Okay. And finally, we need to pick one of these buildings. We already said we're going to get the Happy Alchemist. Okay, so the way this works is this is what it does once it's completed. All three of these things need to be delivered to it for it to be completed. Once it's completed, I'll flip it over, and then you can see there's a space for a worker there, and you use your workers to activate the special abilities. All right, so for now, we'll put this down here. All right, so now one thing to think about, if I put this here, it's going to immediately fulfill the crop requirement. Now, that means that this, as far as I can tell, would still be there because it's for the next round. Somebody let me know if that's not right. So I could go ahead and put it here and build a road, and then that would go there. Crop would not be fulfilled. I then put a road right here suddenly in the next round, and then crop is fulfilled, and I've done what I need to for this round. I think, though, how far away are we from machinery? We just need metal to get to machinery. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this. So this is going to fulfill this requirement here, which gives me 1 victory point. Okay, so next up, the last thing we have to do to finish the round off, and sorry, this is cutting off the tops of those buildings. Let's go in and go up a little bit here, so you can see. I think you'd rather see the buildings than the bottom of this board. So these slide down. Now, normally in the multiplayer game, you clear it off. In the solo game, this slides down, and then take one off the bottom of this deck. So the next thing we've got is the burnt onion. All right, and it requires cattle, bricks, and what is that? Let's find out. I have not dealt with that particular resource before. That is leather, okay, which makes sense. Because you can see here, cattle and wood give you leather. All right, so its ability, build any advanced resource or personal building and 1 connected road. We're starting round 2, and we obviously need to complete something down here. I can easily complete the jewels right now, or gems, I believe it's actually called, because that is a basic resource down here at the bottom. You actually can't see it. It's right down here at the bottom of the board. All right. So the question is, do I do that, or do I go ahead and do metal and but I'm really low on money actually. So that I actually probably could not. I can't get metal and the machinery done in the same round. So I'm gonna have to do just the jewels. Okay. Well, you know what? I don't see any reason not to go ahead and fulfill that requirement. I think let's try to save a little bit of money this time, because we did blow through all of our money last time. So what we're gonna do is, again, trade. All right. So I'm gonna slide that off over there, put that there. We're gonna trade, and we'll get the jewels. And for 1 coin, I could put them here. Thing is, there's not really any reason to have them really centrally located, because they're not required for, well, actually the Temple of the Great Oak does require jewelry. Okay, so and the Temple of the Great Oak also needs to be centrally in a central space, touching a central space at least. Okay, you know what? Let's put this up here, because if I put it there, later I could build the Temple of the Great Oak right here. And so that could be a good spot. Let's try that out. All right, so I put this here. And let's get a cube down here for the jewels. All right, and we now have 3 income. Now the trick, though, is we need to get them connected to the Happy Alchemist, right? So again, we're not going to use the Ringleader special ability yet, because we need to get more houses out to do that. So flip that over, and we'll use a road right here. So those 2 are connected, because diagonally does count. And then we put 1 more road here. It'll be connected to the Happy Alchemist, and we'll have delivered gems to the Happy Alchemist. So which one of these buildings, or which one of these cards, not including the call to vote. You can't, it doesn't have the same back that these do. Are we not going to, well, you know what? We're definitely not going to construct a personal building. So we're going to flip that over. Put that right there. Okay. And so now you can see coming from here down this road to right here to the Happy Alchemist, we have delivered the gems. We can take that off and we get 2 points. That puts us at 3 victory points now. Okay, so what we have left is upgrading. Oh, but you know, now, oh, you know what? I never spent the money for building that. So let's get rid of that real quick. Okay, so we have 1 coin left. I could build a tier 2 building for 4. I can't recruit any of these guys, all right? Tier 2 buildings cost 4 money usually, but with this, they would only cost 2. So I could gain access to books right now. So that might be worth it actually. So I flip one of these over, get the money. And now flip this over, right? And use this. So this guy comes down here and now build an advanced resource building at -2 cost. Let's find, here's the books building. Where would it be relatively out of the way, but not touching? So it can touch a prestige building. We probably don't need to be building down here at all. So, but I could put it there. That way, if we did build down here, I could still build roads. That's probably a good spot. We'll put it right there. So as you can see, we've got crops right here. Go up this road because you cannot draw connection through other buildings. So it couldn't come down this way and up this road. So it goes up this road to here, and that's the crop. And the knowledge goes down the road to here, and that gives me the book. I get 1 victory point for each of those, and spend this 2 money. I now have, where is it? Right here. Puts me at 4. Oh, don't forget, throw that on there. Okay. Granted, in this game, all of those are going to be blue. That would become much more important in a multiplayer game, but I like having them out there anyway. It helps me kind of focus on what, if it doesn't have that, then I know it's either a road or a, whatever this thing's called, prestige building. Okay, but that was my last action, so now we're back to call to vote again. All right, so first thing, income. I have 4 income now. Let's go ahead and gather my cards back up. Okay, this time, oh, by the way, these should have gone away. Fleeting influence disappears at the end of a round, okay? You keep your lasting influence, fleeting influence flees. All right, so I could get the Temple of the Great Oak by spending that influence, but I think I'm gonna hold on to that in case of emergency. You know, if I start getting to the point where I'm not able to meet some of these requirements. We're gonna take the West Gatehouse, all right? So the machinery is really where it's gonna be at. If we can make that work, we'll see what happens. This ability, gain access to a resource tile on a connected entrance space for free. I don't believe really is going to have any effect in a solo game. It's really more of a multiplayer game. If I'm understanding that correctly, it's more of a multiplayer thing. Let me find this tile. So here we go. Here's the West Gatehouse. You can see machinery, brick, and weapons. And it has to go right here. The only prestige buildings that have specific spots, I believe, are the West Gatehouse, the North Gatehouse up here, and over here is the Ghost Fortress. So hopefully neither of those come out to the point where I end up being forced to build them because they are really far away. That Ghost Fortress has screwed me in the last 2 games because I just wasn't able to get to it, or I had to spend too many resources to get to it. Okay, so we got to go in and see what our next prestige building that's coming out is going to be. The Traveling Troubadours. Discard a card, except call to vote to gain 1 lasting influence. Okay, that's pretty good. Put it up here. I actually kind of like that one. Okay, so round 3. Really? Oh, wait. Hold on, we forgot to put these out. We need 1 here and 1 here. Okay. So now you can see I need to be able to deliver 1 here and 1 here. The key here, I think, is going to be machinery, because they both need machinery. And machinery obviously will complete the Happy Alchemist, whereas it'll just give me 1 delivery for the West Gatehouse. Machinery is right here. What we need, we already have the knowledge, so we need metal. So I don't see any reason not to start the round off by building some metal, or importing metal, I should say. We'll go with trade again. And keep in mind the machinery is a tier 2 building, so it'll cost 4, or if I, oops, that goes back up here. If I use this special ability, it'll only cost me 2. So really, that opens up the possibility that I could place my metal on an entrance tile or on a beach tile. Okay, so I think I know where I'm going to put it. I'm going to spend 2 coins. I am going to put import the metal resource right here on this beach tile, on this beach square space. Yeah. Okay. So now that gives me access to, but then I'll have to spend money on the haggler, and I'm not ready to do that yet. Oh, and don't let me forget, we got to do this real quick. We have metal now, increases that to 5. We also have access to this engineer. We need to remember him too. But we really need to get this machinery built so that we can complete, or so that we can deliver to both of these places. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is, let's see, what does the machinery look like? Let's get that in our head so we can start figuring out where the machinery is going to go. That way we know where our roads need to go. So here's the machinery. Okay, it cannot touch, just like everything else, anything. So like right there is probably what we need to do, because it can't touch anything I already own. So that's probably where it needs to go. Here's the tricky part. I really want the Temple of the Great Oak to go right here. So I can't put a road here. Instead, I can put a road here and here. That will cost me 2 cards. All right, so that'll cost me 2 cards. Then if this is here, if that ends up going there, that'll only cost me 1 additional card to get a road here. Okay, all right, we're okay. We're doing all right. All right, so Ringleader we know we're not going to use yet. Use him for the basic action. And that road will go here. Okay, then we also know we're not going to construct any personal buildings this round, so that road, that's the road that'll go here. Because remember, again, you cannot connect through other buildings. So even though these two are connected, they can't, the metal is not connected to these roads down here, which is really what we needed to do. So we'll put that road there. Okay. So the last thing we need to do is we'll use our upgrade card to build a road right here. And so now we can use the recruit card to send this guy down here, and for 2 money, we're building our machinery. And you know what? Let's put it right here. This will take up the least amount of space. Put it right here. All right, that one is me, of course. I get 2 victory points, puts me at 7, because you can see metal connects through here to there, knowledge connects to there, so those are good. Automatically, this machinery, oh wait, let's not forget to put machinery down here, which increases this, of course. All right, okay. Now, automatically, because it's adjacent, machinery completes that. That gives me 4 victory points. I'm at 11. And follow the road. Machinery goes down here to the Happy Alchemist. Right there. That is 5 more victory points. Puts me at 16. All right. So both of these have had something delivered to them this round. And I don't know if you'd normally do this. I think probably in a multiplayer game you wouldn't. I like taking these off when it's completed. Because then when it is completed, you get to go ahead and throw one of these completion tokens on there. You can see it's basically some kind of little building or whatever. And I'm going to throw that right there. Okay. Woo! That worked out pretty well, and exactly the amount of, and exactly the number of actions I needed. You can see why it's important to have those advisors in there, because having that ringleader in there, even though I'm not using him for his ability because I'll lose him if I do, I got to wait till I'm ready, definitely ready to use that. Having him in there gave me just that one extra action that needed me to get over the hill there. Okay, call to vote. All right, so first thing, income. We get 6 income now. All right, let's take these back. All right, so now we could either take the Burnt Onion or the Temple of the Great Oak. Since I did go all the way around the bend there, I'm going to take the Temple of the Great Oak. That was the whole point of that. Oh, let's not forget, Happy Alchemist is now available to us, right? So remember, its ability is lose 1 fleeting influence to perform the action of any other prestige building connected to this tile. I assume that prestige building has to be completed, right? It can't be an incompleted one. So we're going to assume that. And we'll just keep this over here. I'll try to, actually, I'm going to drop this down here on top of the Quattro artwork. Oh my gosh, can't talk. Okay. But now we're getting Temple of the Great Oak. Okay, and again, its ability, gain 1 lasting influence for each prestige building and tile adjacent to this tile. That's interesting. Give me some reason to build prestige buildings very nearby. We're going to put this right here, because remember, it does need to be on a central space, which that space right there is a central. Okay. All right. Now, again, it needed, it doesn't need, what was I thinking? I don't know why it was so important I put it, that's right. I just wanted it there because it's already connected to the network. I was thinking it was going to get automatically fulfilled something, but I don't have access to any of those things yet. That's fine, not a big deal. Okay, going to put this on the gatehouse because it doesn't have any, it needs some stuff still. And the Temple of Great Oak, of course, the Happy Alchemist doesn't get anything because it is done. All right, and the next one to come out is the Archer's Garrison. You guys see, you need stone, labor, and weapons. Buy access to any resource tile for normal cost. All right. So we've got brick is needed over here. Bricks and require. That's gonna be tricky. I got to get both stone and population for that. So that probably is going to be the way to go here. Yeah, and I'm going to have to build it. I'll build it like down here, and then I can connect it to the network that way. That's probably my best bet, I think. So we'll start off again with trade. If we put it here, putting it in the forest is going to be our best bet because then we only need 1 road to connect it. And I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. So here we go. We've got this. Yeah, okay. We've got this. We're importing a stone resource to right here. It cost me 3. And we'll use the ringleader. Let's don't forget to put this on there. Use the ringleader to build a roadway. To here. All right, so that goes all the way up directly to the Temple of the Great Oak and fulfills that requirement. 2 victory points puts me at 18. So I think, let's don't forget this over here. 7 now is my income. Put that guy back there. Okay. So now the question is, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead. I might end up having to take this hit here. I might have to take this hit this round. That's fine. I'm going to recruit. I'm going to recruit real quick. I'm going to spend 2 coins, and I'm going to get the haggler, who gives me a modified trade action here. Perform a trade action at -1 cost if I end up using him. Okay. I also get 1 lasting influence, so that'll protect. I just remembered. I have a completed building here. Everything is more expensive up here now. That goes there, and so each of these are 3 now. Okay, that's something to think about. So he slides down. The new guy is the showman. Also modified trade action, requires gems. We've got that. Perform a trade action, then gain fleeting influence equal to half, rounded up, the money spent. So I don't have the ability to recruit anybody else. So I'm going to have to just use, I only have 1 coin left. I mean, I think really I'm going to have to use 2 of these to get fleeting influence so that I can then pay this penalty at the end of this round, which really kind of sucks. Really kind of sucks a lot. I don't see any way around it really. So yeah, so we'll use the haggler to gain a fleeting influence, and the construct to gain a fleeting influence. And then that leaves me with the upgrade card, which I also don't have enough money to use. So I could either gain money or gain a roadway. I think gaining a roadway, I'm not sure gaining a roadway is really worth it right now. So I think the money, fleeting influence is pointless because it's just going to go away. So we'll gain 1 additional coin there. Okay. Call to vote. First off, we've got, I'll make sure I'm counting right. Yes, 7 income. All right. Get these cards back. I got to pay this penalty, which is equal to the amount of this building over here. So I've got to pay 3. So there's 2 lasting influence, and then the 2 fleeting influence are equal to a lasting influence. So that really hurt right there. We just wiped me out. You can see how punishing that can be very quickly. And now I need to put this over here because that obviously still requires more. All right. Well, I tell you what, that was, you know what? No, let's go 1 more round. We'll go 4 rounds this video, and then we'll go 3 rounds the next video. All right. So we've, we got to put our 4th. Oh, this is the 4th round. That was the end of the 4th round, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. And the last thing we have to do is put out one of these buildings, and the only one I don't have the influence to pick one of these, so I have to put out the burnt onion. So you can see it goes on a tree space. And as we saw a minute ago, the Temple of the Great Oak's ability is related to the number of prestige buildings adjacent to it. So I might as well try to build the burnt onion right next to it. So let's do that. I think we'll do it like that. These slide down. And we've got the crooked bone. Gain 1 money for each basic resource tile adjacent to this tile. All right. Oh, sorry. I did not take that yet. It goes right there. Okay. You know what? That's the end of the 4th round out of 7. So this feels like a good stopping point. I feel like this video has already gone pretty long. And when we come back, we'll see if I can, you can see how this starts to pile up real fast. I mean, I've got these 3 buildings now that are really needing stuff from me. I have got to work towards that. So hopefully I can get something moving here in this next go round. Okay, let's head back up top. So there you go. I did make it into the 4th round. It's a little bit dicey right now. Hopefully I can pull something off and make it all the way to the end, maybe hopefully win. That'd be nice for a change, but I'd be happy just to make it into the 7th round since I've never been there before. Hope you enjoyed the video so far. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. You can purchase Founders of Gloomhaven with a link in the description below, and just a little bit of those proceeds will go to the channel. And until next time, if you're bored online, bored offline.